Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is another Beyond Click and Cliff. This is a podcast where I kind of give you life experiences. I ramble. I just talk to you guys and let you a little bit in what's about Click and Cliff. Nothing to do with Lego. We got other content out there on my channel that has something to do with Lego. This is more to get you to get to know me beyond my Lego. Um, Last week we've been kind of discussing, work. Well, a lot of you know, especially I watch the channel that knows me. I used to be a firefighter for 20 some odd years. Medically discharged or medically retired. Now, I didn't look like this back then. I was actually a lot skinnier. Anyway, life happens, gravity happens. But we, but I've learned a lot of things and had some experiences which I've been sharing with you guys. And this week's not going to be any different. You know, we when I first started the fire department, I didn't know how scary it would be or anything like that. I just didn't know. Um, we had it, until we got into training. And when I was an explorer programs where you're not totally 18 yet, and you're learning the job. So you're basically the gopher, and you attend the training, and they'll start teaching you. Then you can get on the fire department and go from there. Well, when I joined, started training, and my instructor was my captain when I finally got hired on. But he, first thing he said, the first thing into firefighting is it's 10% book work, 90% common sense, and you will come home alive. Now, that was his first words to us. He said, "If you're coming here to learn, it's only 10%. The rest of it's common sense." And I looked at him kind of like, man, he's crazy. But as I got into it, he was right. And he said the number two thing is communication. Like, okay, well, here we go. My wife telling me all the time that I need to communicate better, so this is gonna be my mess up, right? Well, not necessarily the communication he was talking about. Just picture you're new on the fire department, you get your first fire call, a structure fire, and your adrenaline's pumping, you're excited, and it's a two-handed curse. I mean, you're excited, and people, when I say that, people think, well, what, are you excited about somebody's house burning? It's not that kind of excited. Nobody wants to see somebody's house burn. The excitement is your adrenaline, and this, we got a job to do. And if anybody's been in the fire service understands what I'm talking about. It's not that kind of excitement. It's a different type of excitement. It's like fire is what we're trained to work with, and here it is. We're going to go battle the beast, and that's what we're doing. And we're excited to do it. But when you're young, when you first get in the business, or get into that field, you get your first fire, and your adrenaline's pumping. Like I said, you're excited. It's time to go fight that beast, and we're on our way to do it. Well, you get there. You're hurrying up. You have to get your pack. First off, before you leave the station, you're getting your gear on. On the way there, you're getting your pack on, your oxygen tank, and you're getting your mask, getting ready put on. You get to the scene of the fire. You get out of the truck. You grab your axe or your pry bar or whatever. You always go in with the two. You don't go in there. Yeah, tool in one hand, hose in the other. Some departments is different. They got a hose team where that's all they do is put water on the wet stuff on the hot stuff, or water on the fire. There's a team that goes in there without nothing but tools but our department, we did both. So we always had a tool in one hand and hose in the other, and we drug it in the house. And your adrenaline's pumping. You gotta make sure everything's right because you gotta take care of yourself. If you don't put the mask on, right, you're gonna breathe in all that smoke, and you're not gonna make it very far. And you got your geared up right, you're gonna get burnt. It's a lot of things happening, and then you got the stress of the fire. You go into the fire, you're hearing the sirens on the truck, and the excitement going to the fire. Well, we get there, and you get out, get your tool, get the hose pulled off, and grab the nozzle. If you're the nozzle man or the backup man, always go in a team of two. You don't go by yourself. And this is where your communication starts, because I'm going to tell you something. You were taught to skip breathe when you're in the training. You breathe in, you hold it. As long the time limit of taking another breath, but you're holding your breath at this point. You're not breathing. You're holding your breath. You're skipping a breath. Then you're letting out. Then you're taking another breath. And you just do that over. Because your oxygen bottle only lasts, they say it's a 90-minute bottle or a 30-minute bottle. Hell, trust me, you can have that sucked in 2 minutes if you're not controlling your breathing. And you're skip breathing. So you're not wasting that air in your air tank as you're going in there. Now think about it. You're fighting a fire wearing gear that weighs, 80 pounds. That's just your fire gear, not the tank, that 50-pound tank that you got on your back and everything on it. And then add water to the scene, it makes it double that in weight. So you can huff through that tank. And trust me, when I was a rookie, I crystallized that tank. It could be 100-degree weather, and I'd suck that oxygen down so bad, my tank on the back is frosted. And that means you're breathing too hard and too fast. And I bust through them in 2 minutes, like 5 minutes. I was ready to come out because I was running out of air. You hear the beeper on your SCBA. It's called SCBA is self-contained breathing apparatus. That's what you see if firefighters wear on the back, the tank, oxygen tank. And we have a little buzzer here to let us know when we're low on air. You'll hear an annoying beep sound, and that means we have to get out, change air bottles, and come back in. Because we always had a team outside ready for when that happens. But there's a way we can actually make that in the bottles in 30 minutes. It's called communication. Now, it's hard to talk, hard to breathe, hard to talk, and the other person's trying to hear you with a fire crackling around you, a lot of noise, and you're concentrating on what you're doing because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want your partner to get hurt. So a lot of times people will just not talk, but you're supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk to one another. It does two different things. Keeps your partner safe, and it controls your breathing. Because when you're talking to somebody, it's calming you down, and you're not getting excited. You're talking and breathing normally. A lot of people, I know a couple guys who sing to themselves. If we weren't talking, at least we knew the guy was alive because he's singing the song, and that's fine. He's containing his breath. He's containing his respirations. He's keeping himself calm. He's not overexerting himself, and the bottles last longer. So that's where the communication part comes in. We got to talk to our partner, keep us calm, keep us on the task at hand. So, my first fire call, boy, I get in there and I get on my pack and everything's perfect. It's like, wow, my training's paying off. I get to the scene. Smoke is burling out of the windows. I'm like, all right, my job. I know there's fire there. Smoke, there's fire, right? I get my mask on. I check, see if I got a seal around my face. Back then, I couldn't have any facial hair. I think the only thing I could have is a mustache. So the seal around me, the seal around my face. Went in that structure, and don't believe what you see on TV because you can't see nothing. In the movies or TV, you can see it, they show a fire scene, firefighters in there, but everything's crystal clear. You can see everything. Real life, you can't see past your face. It's all dark, and you're looking for fire. And the only fire you see is a little orange glow. Just a little orange glow. Just imagine a small little glow. The house could be completely on fire. All you'll see is this little bit of glow because all the black smoke rolling and you can't see nothing. I see that glow. I go to town and I'm talking to my partner. I'm yelling. Oh, yeah, I was yelling. Put out my first fire. Walked out of that house. And I was excited. I was like, yes, that is me. Did it, fun. Then the after effect. It's like, yeah, and then, this guy lost a lot of stuff, and it's a sad moment for the family or the people that live there. They lose a lot of stuff. Fires gonna have smoke damage, stuff like that. It's not gonna be any fun at all. Sorry about that. Had to take a minute. But yeah, you get to, like what I was saying, you get where they lost everything in their house, and reality said you're salvaging overhaul, and you're actually seeing their stuff. That, man, wish I could have done better, but there's nothing anybody could do at the time. We got the fire out, a lot of smoke damage, but anyway, the communication's still going on with the whole thing, and you know what? I was tired. That adrenaline rush, that energy, that excitement, I was done for. That call, after I done that, I sat, took a break, rehab is what we called it, and I sat there on the back of the truck, drinking my water, and I was spent. I was tired. I was done. And, there's other crews doing the salvaging overhaul and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, we get done. We get back to the station. We take a shower, and we'll have a sit-down briefing on what could we done better or anything like that at the end of every call. We sit there and talk about, things that we could have done better, things that we seen that we didn't like, that we learned. For the next situation, or just sit there and just kind of end the call, having a discussion on a lot of different topics. How we thought the command went, how we thought the scene went, how we did our job, and what we seen and what we could have done better or differently next time. Maybe we should have attacked it this way. And we get done, we either go to bed, or if it start the shift time, that's what we do. So now that you went with me on my first call, basically, it's not easy to tell you in words what it's like, but but I've explained it to you how what I went through, what my, in my eyes, what happened. And guys, I hope you enjoy this kind of stuff, and maybe consider like hitting that like button down below, leaving me a comment, let me know what you think, and maybe consider subscribing. Kind of like kind of like what you see. Guys, remember, pay it forward, be nice to one another, and be good. And until the next one, have a good one. Bye bye.